Today we're going to learn how to choose the right social media platforms for your business. If you're doing social media, there are hundreds of social networks, but you need not be on all of them. Yes, you should be present on the popular ones, but you need not focus on each one of them. That's because all times and resources are limited. So you have to pick the top three social media platforms or top five social media platforms which is right for your business, using which you can attract potential customers and increase your brand awareness. So these are the five items you will be learning within this video. The first, you will learn what are the five questions you have to ask, the answers to which will help you to come up to a right social media channel for your business. Next, you will learn a look into popular social media channels like Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and what they are apt for. What kind of businesses is right to use a particular kind of social media platform. And also, I listed things to remember before you pick a social media channel. Then I have given an example on how to pick a social media channel for a software as a service company. This example is basically kind of a walkthrough to help you understand, like a practical example on how I will go about picking a social media channel. So let's jump right ahead. The first thing to know is knowledge is having the right answer, intelligence is asking the right question. And we will come to the right social media channel by asking the right questions. And the first question is, what are your business objectives? Do you want a social presence for your business or just be socially active? It's like certain businesses, when they approach for consulting, they just say is like, we are happy with what we are making offline. We just want a social media presence. That's it. Just for like some brand awareness or like reinforcing the brand. But social media can be more than that. Yes, few businesses prefer that because they just want to focus on offline media. But social media can do more than just brand awareness. It can generate leads, it can generate sales. So you have to be clear about what your business management team is looking forward to. Are you a B2B or a B2C company? If you are a B2B company, there are certain social media channels which are much more attractive and lucrative for you. If you are a B2C company, there are certain social media channels which is much more lucrative to you and your business. And your strategy also changes with B2B and B2C. Your content creation changes, your social media post changes in each of those social media channels. So you have to be clear about this. Are you looking to build brand awareness? If the core purpose of you doing social media is to keep your brand out there, maybe your brand is looking to go all out in the market, then yes, brand awareness is most important. In those cases, you will be looking at more popular social media channels, not just the channels which will give you leads or help you acquire new talent. So based on those objectives to your social media channels do vary. And do you want to generate leads and sales via the content that you post? So if your focus is towards selling versus brand creation or versus lead generation or towards recruiting, so what's your primary objective you're looking for? What do you really want your social media campaigns to fire for? Or do you just want to be established as a thought leader? In that case, a blog would do. You need not go all out on LinkedIn and Facebook. So ask yourself these questions, and once you have answers for these questions, maybe you can take a notepad out and just note them down. It will be helpful. I will walk you through the process taking an example in the end of this video, but if you want to do it, just take a notepad and just write down the answers to each of these questions. And the second set of questions is, do my customers use this platform? This is important because What is the average age of your customer? You should be asking yourself these questions. Gender, what is the male to female ratio? For instance, if the female ratio is too high and you are from the US market, then something like Pinterest would do, because Pinterest is heavy on a female usage, and it's 60% of the usage is from USA, and it's ideal for e-commerce or any e-commerce related function. So based on the gender too, it does matter on which kind of platform you choose. The country, which country do they belong to? For instance, if it's India, I would pick Facebook as a must have social media presence if I'm a B2C company, because Facebook is the most popular in India, and it might be different in China, it might be different in Korea, it might be different in Australia maybe. So country also defines what kind of social media platform they choose. Maybe you're a B2B company but nobody uses LinkedIn in Australia. What is the culture, what is their ethnicity and background? For instance, if their culture is more conservative, which is not towards social media, maybe social media wouldn't work. For instance, some country in remote areas of Africa, or some villages in remote areas of India might not have the necessary bandwidth to access many social networks, and they might not have access to LinkedIn. Maybe they have installed just Facebook and WhatsApp. Then you have to attract that kind of talent or those kind of leads or sales using those appropriate channels. And your language also changes based on the ethnicity you're trying to target to, and also the income level, how much do they make? For instance, if you see that you are trying to sell a product which is somewhere around 1500 or somewhere around $5,000, then you would like to appeal to a customer who is already making somewhere around 100k dollars per year, because only then he would be able to afford your $5,000 product. So you should know the income level. Number 6 is occupation. What jobs and careers do they hold? So if I have a SaaS product and that SaaS product appeals to design agencies and they're looking for a product wherein I convert Photoshop to HTML within few clicks. If I have that product, then I would like to directly talk to the chief technology officers of these companies. So I should know what kind of titles these people own so that I can target accordingly in my Facebook and LinkedIn, and also I will be talking in the language and the jargons used by these kind of people. And the seventh question I would ask is marital status. Are they married or single? So if I'm trying to sell diamond rings or jewelry or any wedding gifts kind of e-commerce store, then I would be interested in these kind of things. The picture you see to the right is basically an example, a person who fills the demographics which for my own business. So what is average age of a customer? I realized that I need to talk to CTOs. It would be somewhere around 45 to 50 for a multinational company. It's likely that it's male or female, and which country do they belong to? I realized that they'd be from Canada or USA. So I would pick that. And what is their ethnicity and background? I realized that they are white skinned, multinational company, and from USA. How much do they make? Yes, they would make good. Like, so in my LinkedIn, I would target the income levels accordingly. What jobs and careers do they hold? Yes, as I mentioned, CTO or any CXO position. Are they married or single? Yes, in this case, it wouldn't be much important because my product is more of a B2B product. So, the third set of questions you should be asking are, what are my business strengths? Does your business have high level expertise? So you might be just starting out in your business and maybe you don't have 100% command over the industry. So in that case, you might not want to start blogging full fledged because you yourself don't have the knowledge. So maybe you'll start a blog little later. Maybe you're happy with tweeting other people's content. Maybe you're happy with sharing other people's Facebook posts. So that is a question you should be asking. In that case, I would be away from blogging and focus more on Twitter and Facebook, talking to influencers and building relationships rather than directly jumping into blogging from day one. Number two, can your business make good videos? For instance, if your business can make good videos, then I would be focusing on YouTube or maybe LinkedIn if it's B2B, and Facebook, and maybe I'll go away from Twitter because not many people can make good videos, and if I have the expertise and the confidence to present myself in the front of the camera, then I would definitely choose that because that's a great advantage which I have over others. This is one of the biggest strengths which Digital Deepak has. So if you register to learndigitalmarketing.com line of emails, and in few of those emails he asks you to join the Facebook group, and once he has an active email list, he can convert those email lists into Facebook following, and as a result he can get a lot of social media traction too. So consider this also as a strength, and if you have an email list, a lot of your social media following is taken care of. Is your business well funded? This is important. This is important because if you have good amount of money, then you would be investing in ads too, and you will be focusing on wider reach rather than sticking to small social media platforms trying to get few clients. You will be going hard on bigger social media platforms, and you'll be willing to put on advertising, and you'll be advertising on social media platforms which have such an option to advertise. Do you have a good customer traction? So if you have a good customer base already, and if you realize that they are very active on Facebook, maybe you can create a Facebook group. If you see that they are not active on LinkedIn, then you can limit your LinkedIn participation. You can channel your social media efforts accordingly. Is any social media channel already working for you? So if you see that Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, any of the social media channel is something which is like your audience has an affinity towards, and you already have, for instance, I have like 4,500 followers on Twitter already. So if I have started a business, I will make sure I leverage this audience to work for me rather than starting from scratch on Facebook. So ask yourself these questions, note your strengths down, because the answers to which will help you find a good social media channel for your business. So the next set of questions we should be asking is, what channels do my competitors get traffic from? So this screenshot is basically from SimilarWeb. I will walk you through SimilarWeb. So I entered wunderlist.com. This is basically a to-do list app, and I scrolled down. I saw that this particular website gets the maximum social media traffic from Facebook, and then YouTube, and then Reddit, and then WhatsApp. And there's a mysterious social media channel called WeContact. So there's always surprises. You should not assume that Facebook and YouTube is all people use. No. And there's no Twitter in this. There is Reddit, but there is no Twitter. See, so there's always surprise. And if I am a competitor of Wunderlist, if tomorrow I'm starting a to-do list app, then I would go to all my competition like Evernote, Wunderlist, to-do lists, or Google Keep, and see what all social media platforms do these websites or apps attract traffic from. So I have realized that both Evernote, Wunderlist, and Google Keep get maximum traffic from Facebook. So I will focus my efforts on Facebook and maybe YouTube, or more than Twitter or LinkedIn. Just go to SimilarWeb, enter the competitors URL, about 5 competitors URL, and then just check who all is getting traffic from which particular social network. If there is a common denominator, make sure you follow that. The next set of questions, or the next question you should be asking yourself is, what kind of content is my audience looking for? For instance, if you are in gardening industry, then I would recommend that you create videos, because not many people create videos on gardening. For example, how to clean the lawnmower, or how to fix the lawnmower, DIY lawnmower guide. So these kind of things is very technical, and people are looking for detailed videos, because it's difficult to follow a guide which is written on text. People are looking for videos. Maybe in that case you have to create videos, but if you don't have expertise for videos, maybe you can write detailed guides with good photos for illustration purposes. And maybe your audience is looking for PDFs, or maybe your audience is looking for more of conversational interviews. Maybe your audience is looking for experts to guide them on how to build a freelancing business, or they are looking for experts to guide them on how to save money when they are running a business. So interviews would be a good option in that time. Then interviews would be a good option in that case. So always be aware of this. And if you're not aware, maybe you can set up a poll on your own website using WebEngage, and you can ask these questions to your user, and you will get a reply back, and you can just see that you create content, and you can choose social media platforms which appeal to that content. For instance, if it's heavily focused on imagery, then I would focus on Instagram and Pinterest. Or if it's just for communication, then I would choose Twitter. So be aware of this particular question too. So the next question is, do I have enough resources to participate in these channels? Many of you might be working for startups, and maybe you are the only person in your team, and you are very short on resources. In such a case, it's very difficult to handle multiple channels. For instance, people comes up, so you might not have enough people to work on social media channels. Maybe you have decided that LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube and Twitter are your most important channels. That doesn't mean you have enough resources. You need like many people to go all out on each of these social media channels. If you don't have enough people, maybe you can scale down 4 social media channels to 2 social media channels and just focus on that. The tools, see, is like buying the tools is kind of expensive for a startup too. Buying tools can be expensive for a startup. A startup is which is bootstrapped, they might not be willing to buy something like $1.99 per month tool. If you don't have that much money, then I would recommend that you scale down your social media efforts. Maybe you can have presence on all the popular social media channels, but focus on only 2 or maybe 1 social media channel. Then expertise, do you have the expertise to participate in each of these channels? For instance, of all the social media channels, I'm really good at Facebook, LinkedIn and YouTube. Something like Instagram, I wouldn't be as comfortable, and that is not my expertise. Instagram is not my expertise. So if I am in a company which I am working for, and Instagram is something which is not going to give me much results, then, and also it is not my strength, I will reduce my efforts on that. Then the money is important. And since if you don't have enough money, and if you have enough money, for instance you got a funding from investor, and then you would like to promote your product using ads, I'll be moving from less popular social media channels to a much more popular social media channels, so that I can get a wider audience. And time, how much time do you have? Like if you are handling social media marketing, SEO and AdWords, and you are the only person in the team, then you cannot handle all social media channels. You have to scale down your social media activity, because other channels are also important. Hope you have answers for each of these questions, and make sure you note them down in a notepad. And once you have enough answers for each of these questions, you will be able to come up with the right social media channel. Here are the social media channels, and here are the briefs. I have given a list of social media channels on what kind of situations they are apt for, and what are the demographics on each of these social media channels. So let's jump right ahead. The first one is Facebook, and Facebook is ideal for connecting with multiple target audience, B2B and B2C. It works for B2B as well. Many people think, oh, Facebook is only B2C. No, but B2B too. B2B in a sense of Facebook groups. There are many people who are doing business on Facebook groups. So Facebook ads run by B2B companies also work, where many people have generate leads, B2B leads on Facebook. Then the demographics of Facebook are, they have largest demographic, and aged is 25 to 34. If you are targeting this audience and you are targeting in some country like USA, India, or any other country like Australia or UK, the where Facebook adoption is high, then yes, I would be focusing on Facebook. Facebook is ideal for sharing key updates, local events, groups, new products, changes of address, etc. You have a platform to share all these about your business in a public platform. So Facebook is great for that. And another aspect of demographics is Facebook users are 53% female and 47% male. So it's slightly bent towards female, and again it depends from country to country. And one way of finding out the targeting and the number of people you might target is going to Facebook advertising and setting up a test campaign. And when you're setting up that campaign, you will see for what kind of demographics, how many people can you reach to. So share video content. Facebook knows that video is the future and the present too, and it wants people to watch video because that makes people glued to Facebook, and that's what Facebook wants, and that's what most social media networks want. 56% of online seniors age 65 plus are on Facebook, and 63% are between 50 to 60s. Such a demographic is very difficult to find. You might not see such a demographic high in Snapchat or somewhere in Delicious or Stumble Upon. So if your business wants to target to these customers, maybe you have a business which is a hearing aid, something which people help people hear better. Maybe you are trying to appear as an ad to senior citizens. In that case, Facebook would be a good option. The next social media network which we are discussing is Twitter. Twitter is ideal to interact directly and quickly with customers. For example, if some customer goes ranting about your competitor, maybe you can go and say what went wrong and learn from what competitors did as a mistake and imbibe that in your product or your service. The demographics for Twitter is 30% of internet users aged 18 to 29 continue to use Twitter, so that's good news. So if you are trying to promote to this age range, 18 to 29, yes, definitely you should use Twitter. Deliver news or company updates. Twitter is best for announcements, news, company updates, your sharing your new content. Twitter is great. And the other point on demographics, 13% of those aged 50 to 64 use Twitter. So Twitter does have an old age demographic too, but not as good as Facebook. So Twitter is also good to stay update in your industry. So you just follow few influencers and you make lists in your industry, and once you make that list, you can make sure that you are getting information which is very helpful to keep updated on your industry. So it's like you learn and you can share your thoughts and you can establish yourself as a thought leader too. Instagram is good for building your brand with strong visuals. So if you have an online store or you're directly selling products on Instagram, and you have a brand, offline brand, and you like to promote that retail store, the experience of that retail store, you will need a lot of visuals. And for example, clothing or apparel or mobile phones maybe, or whey protein or fitness fitness related items, then you need good, very good visuals to make your brand look appealing and outbeat the competition. In such a case, Instagram is best. And the demographics are 49% female and 51% male. It's also ideal to articulate your brand story. So with Instagram, if you go to Instagram, you check the feed and all, you will understand that brand story appeal which Instagram gives, no other social media channel gives. And that's why Instagram is popular among retail and online stores and foodies or travel bloggers. And the next largest Instagram age demographic is 30 to 49 years at 28% usage. So a lot of youth is using, is like 15 to 30 is the first largest demographic, and 30 to 49 years is the second largest demographic. So Instagram you can use, and Instagram has much more following than Twitter and LinkedIn. So Instagram I would consider if I would like to reach a large audience. Snapchat. Snapchat is ideal to reach a younger but highly engaged audience. People are engaged on Snapchat. They take videos and just put it up there. And teenagers, millennials, they are the people who use Snapchat, and they are highly engaged. And since it's video content, your brand will get a good chance to make a higher impact on the mind of the audience. So demographics would be 60% of all users are under 25 years of age. So it's, if you're promoting some apparel or few iOS games, maybe Snapchat is a good opportunity. And then direct messaging, audio messaging, and call link. So Snapchat is good for all these three, and your brand can have these kind of conversations with the followers, with something which audio messaging is something which Facebook doesn't give through Messenger. Like you cannot just go to a Facebook page and say I'm gonna give an audio message to this person. No. So video calling, how great it would be if your brand could have video calls with your customers. That would be amazing. And the largest Snapchat age demographic is 18 to 24. So make sure you're targeting to these customers. LinkedIn is ideal to join groups and networks with other business owners. So if you are a B2B company and targeting CMOs, chief marketing officers, so I would like to connect with companies like multinational companies or startups which are well funded, because that would make me money. So it's good for networking that way. And demographics of LinkedIn would be 44% of LinkedIn users are female compared to 56% male. So yes, you have a decent share of both. LinkedIn can also be great to recruit employees. For instance, if you have a company page which has a good following and you have listed jobs on it, it would be much cheaper than going through a HR consultancy services. Also know that quarter of LinkedIn users are aged 18 to 29. So this is also good demographic. So if you are promoting an information product, these people would like to learn from that. So yes, definitely connect with other business owners for partnership opportunities. Yes, if I am a business, I would be interested in using email, or I would use some sales membership in LinkedIn so that I can connect with other business opportunities. I can do sales prospecting on LinkedIn itself, and I can take LinkedIn Premium and get other details about that person or company. Demographics is 61% of LinkedIn users are aged 30 to 64 years old. And you can share business related content relevant to your industry. LinkedIn is a great place to establish yourself as a thought leader. LinkedIn has a publishing unit wherein you can publish content, and you can just directly say this is my expertise, and you can just go about explaining your industry concepts and solve problems so that people follow and maybe they do business with you. The next social media channel is Pinterest. Pinterest is great to showcase your products in a visual manner. Although Instagram does the same, Pinterest is more commerce focused, and Pinterest is inspiration, not just displaying products. And Pinterest is ideal if you are in recipes or somewhere in food, health, travel, apparel. These are the popular niches in Pinterest. 81% of Pinterest users are women. So that's what I was talking about earlier. If you are targeting an audience which is women and USA focused, then Pinterest is one of my target. Reach people with buying intent. If you have placed a link on Pinterest and you place the same link on something like Facebook, the people who come to that link through Pinterest would have much higher buying intent. The conversion rates will be much higher than on Facebook, because people come to Pinterest to find objects of desire, to get inspired on home, food, travel, or fitness. So they are looking for products which can help them live a better life or help them live a more aesthetic life. They already have that mindset, so you being present there will help you get few conversions. Demographics is median age of Pinterest user is 40. So yes, the number of people who use Pinterest, they usually have a high household income. So that is another reason you should be using Pinterest. So weave stories around your products. This is why I use Pinterest. So I use it basically to get travel inspiration, and there's a lot of travel inspiration on Pinterest. And you can weave stories, you can add multiple products in a single image and say how those products helped you in traveling. Or you can have lookbooks if you are into apparel industry. And half of Pinterest users is $50K or greater per year. So it's like that's the household income of a Pinterest user. So that's very high. And I would like to use Pinterest for commerce. If I have an online store which targets women, which is in USA, and which is around apparel, or which is around travel or fitness, then Pinterest, I would go all out on Pinterest, because that's the correct demographic, and those clicks and followers will ultimately convert into sales. YouTube. YouTube is one of my favorite social media channels. That's where I spend most of my day, of all the time I spend browsing social media. YouTube is great for long form video content. If you see Facebook or Snapchat or Instagram, the video length is very short, and I'm not interested in short video content, because if I want to educate myself, or if I want to watch a series or a movie or some TED talk, and I want to consume information, and I'm serious about my entertainment, and if I have like 30 minutes or so, then yes, long form video content is what I'll be looking for. And YouTube is great. And if you are a brand and you want to make a great impact in the minds of the consumer, for instance, if your video is being watched by your audience for 15 minutes, it's like you have captured his attention for 15 minutes. No amount of advertising, no amount of email list building can replace that 15 minutes of brand exposure. So 33% of all internet users also use YouTube. So yes, it's a popular social media channel. So it is the second largest search engine. So number of users is very high. And being on YouTube is much more important than optimizing your site for Bing and Yahoo. Greater brand connection through video. As I was talking about, the brand connection which you get on YouTube, you will not get anywhere. And if you are a B2B company too, B2B companies are also on YouTube, so it's like you cannot neglect that. Demographics, 60% of the audience are under 45. So again, if you see the demographics, 24 to 35 would be highest in YouTube. If you want to target different kinds of people, different age groups and different genders, YouTube has a very diverse audience, and you should leverage that. So here's the final list of things to remember before you pick a social media channel. now that we know social media channels, what they are good for, and you also know the answers to each of these questions which we discussed in the beginning of the video, now it is time to find out and have few pointers in your mind before you take the final step of picking a social media channel. So critical few, narrow your efforts to the top three social channels for your business. Know that there are few social media channels which will not work for you and your business. There are few social media channels with little effort you can get multiple and multitude of results which is not possible in other social media channels. So picking the right one is very important. Next is have minimal presence and activity in all social media channels. You should capture your brand name in all the popular social media channels. So go to Google and enter name check, and there will be a tool which will pop up. Open that URL and enter your brand name, and you will get on which all social media channels your brand name has already been taken. So make sure your brand name is occupied on all social media platform channels, because if someone else takes it and posts something else which is irrelevant to your brand, which is harmful to your brand can get jacked that way. And test social channels for at least 6 months before scaling efforts. So if you feel of all the seven social media channels, if I focus on Facebook, YouTube and LinkedIn, I will make good amount of traffic and revenue. Then you have to test this three channels for 6 months and then focus on what is working, what is not working, why it is not working. Should we continue with this channel or should we drop this channel? Is there any other channel which we have to pick up, or should we just stick to two channels because they are giving much more better results than the third one? So all these questions should be asking, and once you do the work for 6 months you will get a good understanding of what works and what doesn't, and only after that you have to scale your efforts. So it is not just social media channel, it is also what you do with it. So many people think that Facebook is for B2C. I'm not going to do Facebook, I'm a B2B brand. But there are many B2B brands who are doing really good on Facebook groups. There are a few B2B brands doing really good on Facebook remarketing or Facebook ads. And you might be a B2C company and may be thinking, LinkedIn is not for me. But that's wrong, because like through LinkedIn you can acquire talent, and through LinkedIn you can reinforce your brand and say, come on, we are doing this, these are our company values, this is what we live by. So we can reinforce the same brand on LinkedIn too. So remember these four aspects, and now that we have enough knowledge to pick up a social media channel for our business, it is time to take an example. I will walk you through this example of Wunderlist, and I will tell you how I'm gonna find the right social media channel for this particular brand. So currently we are in wunderlist.com. So suppose I have decided to start a app, mobile app or a desktop app, which helps people to organize their day, their to-do lists or projects. Then I would be interested in checking out my competition and what kind of social media channels they are using. And for that, I will first have a list of all questions. These are the same questions which I mentioned in the PPT. So I will have a text document which is ready with all these questions. So the first question I'll be asking myself is, do you want a social media presence for your business or just be socially active? No, I uh, want like full awareness, not just being socially present. I want to be active. I want to be as many people as possible. Is your company B2B or B2C? Since to-do list is something which people use in their business and not to buy apparel, I would say it's B2B with a very wide audience, in the sense that something like Microsoft Word, it looks like B2B. It is B2B, but anyone can use Microsoft Word. Even a kid would use a Microsoft Word. So it is kind of between B2B, B2C, I would say. I would say it's irrelevant in that case, because For instance, a person who is working on his engineering product, he also might be needing a to-do list. So I would like to appeal to him also, not just businesses. So I would say consumer, some consumer. Yes. Are you looking to build brand awareness? So I will increase the size of this so that you can see. Are you looking to build brand awareness? No, I'm looking for brand awareness, yes, but also sales too. I'm looking for sales too. I'm not just looking for building brand awareness. Do you want to generate leads and sales via that content? Yes, of course. What is the average age of the customer? Since I'm just starting out, I would like to appeal to people who are younger on age, who are very comfortable with technology, because the friction would be much less, instead of selling to people who are of a higher age, who are not as comfortable with technology as a younger generation. So I would say somewhere around 25 to 35, because they are making money, and they also have enough things to do on their daily list. What is male to female ratio? It's, I think, is irrelevant. So it's like whoever is looking to work would be needing this. So I think this is irrelevant for me. Which country do they belong to? So it's irrelevant as in 50% to 50%. Yes, like I would like to pick a social media channel which has both male and female. Yes. Which country do they belong to? I would like to start my audience with India. I would like to focus on India because it's an untapped market, I feel. What is their ethnicity and background? They are usually Indian. How much do they make? So somewhere around, I would say 4 lakhs. Yes, 4 lakhs per annum. What jobs and careers do they hold? They are usually anywhere from senior executive, or they could be assistant managers. Yes, they are usually assistant managers. Are they single or married? They are. It's irrelevant again. No, like we use to-do list irrelevant of our manager status. Does your business have high level of expertise? So we are just starting out. We don't have as much experience with to do this. We are still learning the industry. So I would say my level of expertise is medium, or I would say it is rather low. Can your business make good videos? Currently, there are only 3 people in my business, and one person is selling, one person is coding, and I'm the person who is managing. So no, I cannot. I don't have enough time to. Does your business have an active email list? Yes, I have been running a blog, so I can leverage that list. Is your business well funded? No, we are bootstrapped, so I'm not gonna spend money on social media ads. We have good customer traction. No, since we are just starting out. Is any social media channel working for you currently? No, we don't have any social media channel, but we do have a Facebook group, which we have been building for the last 6 months. Yes, so I will pick Facebook group. Competitor traffic. Where is competition getting its traffic? So I will go to wonderlist.com, my competitor, and go to similar web. And enter this particular URL. And I will scroll down all the way down until I get social. So I see Wonderlist is getting maximum traffic from Facebook and YouTube. So then I will go to Evernote. I see that it's getting from Facebook and YouTube again. Here it's Twitter. Yes, so Facebook and Twitter, I would say. So competitor traffic, Facebook, Twitter, Facebook and YouTube. So since Facebook and YouTube is the popular social media channels for my competition, I can clearly say that people in my audience are somehow inclined towards video content. So I would say video. And I would say what kind of content types my audience is looking for. I would say video, I would say PDFs, and they're looking for content which can help them improve their productivity and be more organized in their day-to-day work. So maybe text content, regular blog posts which I can share. Like if someone writes a great article on productivity, maybe I can tweet it to my audience. So I'll be sharing either my videos, but I don't have time. So what I'll do is I'll take up videos from YouTube and share them on my Facebook wall, or I will reshare videos which are on productivity on Facebook itself. So the next one is resources. I don't have people. No, I don't have people. I can afford tools. Yes, I can buy a tool. So yes, I can buy tools. I don't have a problem. Expertise is low. Money, yes, I have little money. I can invest. Yes. Time, again, I have very little on time, so I cannot spend my day pumping out videos. So based on these answers, I would say I have less time but some money. This is one of my condition, and I also see that I have a following on Facebook group, and then I would say I have a good network in Indian startup community. But I don't have enough expertise, don't have expertise or time to create videos. But I also see that my audience is looking for videos. So what I'll do is, because I don't have expertise to create videos but my audience is looking for videos, either I will hire an agency to get these videos done, or maybe I will reshare others' videos. And since it's India and the most popular social media channel is Facebook, and I also see that people are assistant managers or somewhere around, people age group I would like to target is 25 to 34. And yes, you can target such people on Facebook. And I also see that people who are downloading a to-do list, they are very focused on productivity. They are looking to get things done. So they would be interested in productivity tips or something like that. So I would be participating in LinkedIn too, to a certain extent. How much will look later. So are you looking to build brand awareness? No, I'm looking to generate sales too. I just don't want to just have brand awareness. I want few downloads. Based on this, I would say the social media channels I'm gonna pick is Facebook, because that gives me an opportunity to do both video content, maybe reshare video content, and blogs, write few like or like share interesting content, interesting updates on my business. Then I would be using LinkedIn to get into touch with people who are looking to improve productivity. Yes. And YouTube, I would park it for now, because YouTube is best if you have good amount of video content. I would not like to just download a video from my some competitor and upload it again. That would be against YouTube terms. I wouldn't do that. Halt it for now. So if I'm like a new company, I would like to focus on LinkedIn and Facebook because they will give me good amount of returns which other social media channels might not give. So this is how you come to a social media platform. For me, in this case, is Facebook and LinkedIn. I will focus on these two particular social media channels for the next 6 months and work on improving presence on each of them, and then see how can I scale this up. So that's it from this video. Thank you very much.